Hi, I'm Allison.
And I'm Ashley.
And this is The Hoot! This is the podcast where we talk about all things movies, TV shows, podcasts, and so on.
We wanted to start this podcast so we could share intense, weird, and controversial conversations about everything with the world.
So sit back,
Grab your water
or coffee, and listen to
The
Hoot!
Neville.
So we have a cat in the background today that's gonna be mad at us for not letting him go outside.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know.
What's up, Doc?
So Ashley, what have you been up to this week?
Well, school.
Yeah? What else?
Crying.
Yeah. What did we do on Sunday?
Sunday we had another crafting party at Claire's, but also it was just like Claire's husband John was going to be gone, so we were going to keep her company, and we watched National Treasure, and we had good food, and yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Mm-hmm.
I just like being in Claire's house because
Yeah.
it's very comfortable and her
Yes.
cats are just the cutest.
Yes. Okay, this is probably going to make some people upset, including you.
Oh.
I really enjoyed Claire's beef stroganoff more than I enjoyed Mommy's
Really?
kind. I think it's only just because I don't like the look of like the original like gravy type thing. I
Yeah.
like not being able to see it, and like having that sort of like thin type
Yeah.
of gravy, it makes it more appealing to me. So like when I'm eating it, it tastes better because eye appeal is affecting it. Like when I'm eating the other beef stroganoff, which I would usually never ever eat, I couldn't, like, I try not to look at it when I'm eating it because I can't think
Interesting.
about that. I don't know. It's just a weird thing. Not that Mommy's is bad. It's
Yeah.
very good. I just think I enjoyed eating Claire's better because I could see that it wasn't like a gravy.
I think the thing I liked better was the meat fell more apart. When you were eating it, it tasted more like the slow-cooked beef rather than, I mean, when Mommy makes it, she doesn't slow-cook the beef. So that's the only thing that I guess liked better. But I still prefer Mommy's just because I like the creaminess of it.
Yeah.
Even though it does make me sick because I'm a little lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
So...
But yeah, so that I really actually enjoyed that.
Okay.
And the Oreo balls. We
Yes.
made Oreo balls again, and that
See,
was really good.
See, I'm watching my calories and stuff, and I ate 2 Oreo balls.
They're so good.
And I was just like, they're really good. I feel bad when I'm eating them.
Yeah.
So,
And then today, both you and I went and got the COVID-19 vaccine.
Yep.
Yay.
Actually, everyone in our family.
Yeah, so we're all good.
Yeah.
When
When they asked me, the lady asked me, do you know anybody that's gotten the vaccine? And I was like, well, the guy who was sitting right here, right before me, that was my brother. And then my mom came earlier today.
No, I was wondering if, like, they would hear the name Benton and, like, recognize it, but nobody did. And I was like, oh.
Well, Ryan and I went to the same girl, so
okay.
It could have been,
Yeah.
like, you just, I don't know.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people there.
Yeah, there were. And I did talk to one worker, and I was like, so do all of you guys have to get vaccinated to work here? And she's like, no, we get the option. And then I asked if she was there all day, and she said yes. So they were, or at least a lot of them were there, like, the entire day.
Well, when we got there, we were scheduled for 1:15 to 1:30. And so I assumed, like, okay, we'll get it, like, probably right at 1:15 and then sit there for 15 minutes, and then it'll be 1:30, so we'll leave. But we didn't get the vaccines until we didn't even get in line until 1:30. And then when I sat down to wait my 15 minutes, my time that I could leave was 2:04. So it took a little bit longer. I think they were held back a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Well, no, I think the time frame is more for this is the time that you can come.
Yeah.
So, like, you need to be here between, mine was 3 and 3:15.
Yeah, I just mean, like, when we finally got in line, it was 1:30. So, it was like, okay. And I felt like the people in front of me...
a busy time, too.
Yeah. So. The people in front of me were definitely, like, for the earlier time before us, because when they were, like, checking us off, there were only, like, 2 other people that were checked off for our time slots, so... But anyway, yay! We are half vaccinated.
Yay! Dose will come in February.
Dose. So I'm wondering, like, this is kind of going on a tangent, sorry, but I'm wondering when, like, since we're getting it because we work at Evergreen Place, which is an assisted living home, but, like, when are, like, teachers going to get it?
I don't know. We're supposed to be in that same category.
Like, the one that we're in right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, but...
I was going to say, like, I kind of feel like they should come next.
No, yeah. So, like, it's the same category, but, like, they're still doing, like, okay, people who are working in a healthcare situation, they need to be first. Yeah. So, it's like, even our facility was confused on when we could even get it. Like, Mommy, I feel like
we found out yesterday that we could get it.
Yeah. So like it's been just like every other day we don't know what's going on. And I was talking to my superintendent because I also signed up for the vaccine through school just in case we were able to get it before Evergreen Place. So I emailed her and said, hey, I'm going to go get the vaccine today so I don't need it through the school anymore. And I was like, sorry if this makes more work for you and all that stuff. I just want to make sure I get it sooner rather than later. And she's like, oh, it's okay. I know that it's like every day changes. So, but just thanks for letting me know and I'll get you off the list and all that stuff. So they're not quite sure when the teachers are going to start to be able to get it. But again, we have the option to do it.
Yeah.
So
no, a lot of people keep asking me like if it's optional, and I'm like, yeah,
but I want to get it.
And you know, I had a conversation with Claire last night when we were at work, and she was kind of like, you're going to be really tired, you're going to feel really sick.
I already do.
Well, and so I was actually kind of like psyched out today when I was going, and I asked her like, do you think and she hasn't gotten it. This is just from what she's heard. And I said, you know, do you think I'm going to be able to go to the gym afterwards? Because like, I was like, I want to just go straight to the gym after I get the vaccine. And she's like, no, you're going to be so tired and you're going to feel so sick. I feel absolutely fine. I went to the gym afterwards. I actually did a longer workout than usual.
Yeah.
Like, I feel fine. And then I talked to my friend Alex, who works in a hospital, and she said that she didn't get it. She hasn't gotten it, but her coworkers that did get it, she said the first shot you don't really feel anything. The second shot is when you feel sick.
Okay.
So, I mean, it does, like, we did get, you know, a paper that says you may have symptoms and it's all of this stuff. You may feel sick, blah, blah, blah. But my friend who works in a hospital said that won't happen until your second one.
Okay.
Unless you're allergic to something in it. So. But I still think it was a good idea.
Yeah, I'm not really worried. I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, my immune system is good enough.
Mine is not.
That I don't know, like, if I get sick.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm saying, like, I don't care. And then later when I'm sick, I'm going to be like, what the hell, why did I say that? But I'm not saying that I am going to be. I'm just, like, eh.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like if I was to get the smallpox vaccine when I was a baby.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I don't want to get the smallpox.
The thing that people talk about with this one is there hasn't been as much research on it.
But that's because we've had it for a year.
But... I mean, looking at the ingredients and
it's a 90% something percent rate.
Yeah.
That it's...
I feel like
working.
I'm a good person to first get it and then discuss with my friends.
That's what I said
how
to
I feel
my
about it.
co-teachers today. I was like, I'm going to be the guinea pig.
Yeah.
So if I get sick, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
And then you'll feel better if you don't have to get it or whatever.
I mean, it's probably different for everybody, but still.
But
anyway, that was...
Yeah, sorry, tangent.
But, off that subject, I got a job.
Yay!
Which I don't get to start yet, but I applied to Olive Garden, my favorite restaurant, and I got the job. Yay. So I'm really excited because I love waitressing, and I'm still going to work at Evergreen Place part-time. I just have to hear back from Olive Garden to see when I can actually start so that I can tell my boss at Evergreen Place, like, hey, this is when I can work. So, but I'm really happy.
Yay!
Really excited. I called them today and said I finished all my orientation stuff, and there's like pre-orientation stuff. That's what I finished. Orientation is when I actually go in and get trained. So, but they were like, "Oh yay! Has anyone told you when to come in yet?" And I'm like, "Nope." So I'm guessing because they told me that I won't come in to get trained until a week before they're supposed to open. So I'm guessing they're supposed to open soon.
Okay, that's good.
So, yeah.
What did you say to Applebee's?
I didn't even call them back.
Oh, okay.
They left me a voicemail, and so I didn't say. But anyway, last night when I was at work at Evergreen Place, I got a phone call, and I wasn't with my phone, and they left a voicemail, and I just, you know how, like, on your voicemail, you can, like, read the voicemail?
The transcript.
I read it, and it said, like, "Hi, it's Applebee's. We want you to come in for an interview." And I was like, oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, Applebee's.
I'm sorry, my favorite restaurant. I got a job there, so.
Oh.
But,
Yeah.
I'm excited to start working there.
Yeah.
I have, like, an old friend that we haven't talked in a very long time that works there, that we went to church camp together, so.
Who?
Nathan.
Oh. He works at Olive Garden?
Oh. Well, I
feel like...
don't know if he still works there.
Oh, okay.
But, I mean, he could.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Everyone else, I don't know. Except for the 2 people I met when I went for my interview. So, anything else that you've been up to? You've been reading Outlander, but we can talk about that next.
I've been reading Outlander. It's so good. I got the paperback books. I ordered all of them. They were expensive, but I don't care. And they're beautiful, and it makes me happy. So yeah, I've been reading that. But also, I still have the 3rd book on my phone. So, like, today, when I was waiting for, like, to leave for the vaccine, I was reading on my phone still. I don't think I'm going to get, like, buy the online versions of 4 through...
I mean, you
however
have them.
Because I have them on paperback, but, like, also there's a part of me that's like, but what if I don't have my book with me?
Just carry it everywhere.
I can't have my phone. But, like, today I wasn't going to bring my book in.
To school.
You know how thick that is?
Oh, in there.
It's a thick book.
Yeah, but...
They are this big.
I mean, you can just have your bag with you and have it in your bag.
But, like, that's just so much to carry.
Okay.
I don't even like carrying my actual purse. So, but yeah, anyway, so I've been reading that. I had my evaluation for school today.
Did they evaluate you well?
They did, but I don't know what he said. I mean, I'm assuming it went okay.
They were like, we don't like her. She doesn't do art well.
Yeah. I don't know. It wasn't like... We're at the end of a lesson for 7th grade because this is their last week with me. Mm-hmm. And so we're just finishing up a bunch of stuff and, like, getting students caught up on work. Mm-hmm. So it's, like, kind of boring to, like, be sitting in there right now. And so, and it's not like it needs to be entertaining for them, but like, it just makes me feel like they're not seeing what I can actually do.
Yeah. Well, they probably know
things. I know. And his first evaluation of me was a lot more information, so it's fine.
Okay.
I just don't like doing all that stupid stuff.
It's okay.
It's fine.
You gotta.
Ah, there's good news tonight.
So what have you been watching or listening to / reading?
I mean, reading Outlander.
Yes.
I was watching Outlander. I finished season 2, but
And
I'm
what's
not
that on, by the way?
It's on Netflix, but then it's also on the Stars app. Netflix only has seasons 1 through 3. And then Claire said that she'd let me borrow her Stars app whenever I get to seasons 4 through whatever.
Okay.
But I think I'm not going to watch the show until I'm done with the books now, because starting actually in season 2, they changed it a lot from the book, and I'm a big I don't want spoilers person.
Yeah.
So I finished book 2 before I started watching season 2, because it started out being all weird and like not how it was in the book, and I was like, ah. So it didn't give me too many spoilers, but I was still like, no.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna read the books all the way through before I start watching again. But besides that, I've only really been watching Bewitched and Bob's Burgers at night. I haven't been watching too much other things because I got school.
Yeah. You're busy.
Yeah. The national treasure.
Yeah. So I was waiting to tell you this until we were on the podcast. But last night I read chapter 1 of Outlander because Ashley gave me her paperback books of 1 and 2 because I'm going on vacation soon. And so I was like, I want a book to read. Yes. And so it's really good.
Yes.
I mean,
you haven't gotten to it.
Yeah.
You just read chapter 1. You're not even close to the great stuff.
I was kind of bored at the very, very beginning. And I was like, I just need to get through chapter 1 because obviously her and Claire love it. So it's probably going to get exciting. And like by the end, I was like, okay, that's kind of like a cliffhanger.
What did chapter 1 end with?
The couple, they were like, Frank and Claire, is that their names? They were like, he was like, oh, did you cheat on me during the war? And she was like, how could you? I would never cheat on you. And then she was like laying in bed like, oh, wait, what if he cheated on me? And that was it.
Yep. Okay.
And there was like a guy standing outside their window.
Yes.
Which I was kind of like, okay, is this like gonna turn into a ghost story? Because I'm down for it. But like that doesn't sound like something Ashley would be into. So
you gotta keep reading.
I'm going to keep
so
reading.
Excited.
I definitely was like, I want to start it while I'm at home rather than like on the plane because what if I don't like it?
You're gonna like it. It's so good.
Yeah.
I'm just so excited for you to watch it. I keep saying watch it, read it. Like right now, because I started reading while I was at the vaccine or the Pepsi Center, and like right now I'm like I want to read right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to be doing this. I want to get back to my book.
Well, I'm sorry, but
no, it's okay.
We have to.
I know. I'm just saying that there's a part of my brain that's like, okay, let's go.
That was like me all throughout like junior high and high school with any book I was reading.
Me too, with Harry Potter, definitely.
I miss that, but
yeah. Well, this definitely reinstated my love of reading. Yeah. So this might do the same.
I mean, Harry Potter definitely did because I read that recently. But I wasn't as obsessed as I was like in high school and junior high because I think it's because I was in college and so it was like, okay, I have to like pace myself for one thing because I have other things to do. And like, yes, in junior high and high school, you had other things to do, but we were fairly smart and could get through our homework during the school day. So then we could read after that. So I would read pretty much every single class. Yeah. I'd finish books in like 2 weeks. So I don't know. But anyway, I've been watching Family Guy at night and honestly, like, it's becoming one of my favorite shows.
Really?
Yeah. Like, have you watched it besides, like just occasionally watching it with people? Mm-mm. It's so funny. Yeah. And, like, it's definitely like a, I don't know, a smart comedy show, if that makes sense. I mean, people always compare it to The Simpsons, and The Simpsons is a smart comedy show made by, like, mathematicians and stuff. But I would say Family Guy is pretty similar to that. Anyway, I am really loving it, and this is like my second time rewatching it, even though I haven't seen technically every moment because I fell asleep to it, but yeah. And then another show that I binged the other night until 4 a.m. and then I didn't watch the last episode because it was 4 a.m. and I was like, if I watch this hour-long episode right now, it'll be 5 a.m. and then it'll be morning. So I have one episode left, but it's the docuseries The Keepers, which I heard about on a podcast that I was listening to. A girl did like her case on it, her true case on the story that The Keepers goes through, and then I was like, okay, she kept saying like, oh, there's so much more information like in this docuseries, like you need to watch it if you're interested. So basically it is about a nun who is murdered, and they think, like the police think it was like a serial killer, because there was another young girl that was pretty that was murdered around the same time, in the same town. But then like 20 years later, this girl comes forward, and she is known as Jane Doe until a certain point when she reveals herself, and she accuses one of the priests at the school that the nun worked at of sexual assault and abuse upon her, and she then says that basically the reason she came forward 20 years later is because she had repressed memories of it. So she didn't even realize that had happened to her.
Yeah.
She knew that there was like inappropriate stuff happening, but she didn't remember any of it until like 20 years later. And so like as it's going and as she's like figuring all this out, she's like, first I'm going to go to my priest and talk about it. And so she does that first. And they're like, oh, well, you can't really do anything. You can't really get him, because he was still a priest, this guy. And the priest that she was talking to was like, you can't really get him out of the priesthood or like arrested or anything like that, unless you have another person who he did this to. And then the same thing happened when she went to the cops. They were like, well, we can't really say that this happened unless you find another person who said it happened. And then eventually, another girl comes forward.
Oh, good.
And they have a case against this guy, and they lose.
Ugh. How?
Well, part of it is they were saying like, oh, well, there's no hardcore evidence. It's just these memories of these people. And it's just their testimonies. But I'm like, two people, plus, once they come forward, a bunch of other people start coming forward. And so part of it, like the reason they lost is, I believe, because of the Catholic Church and the lawyers that they used to intimidate these girls while they were on the stand, even though they did do a good job. But then also it was just kind of hard to believe for some people that this would be something that would be going on for so long in a school. So anyway, it was just like, it was crazy, and I want to know what happens in the last episode, because still, like, there's no... And also, okay, so anyway, the nun that passed away. Basically, this girl who came forward said she has this repressed memory of the priest bringing her to her teacher, this nun, went to her dead body and saying, this is what happens when you say bad things about people, because she had told her what had happened.
Gosh.
And she remembers like maggots being on her face and like brushing them off. Yes. So that's like how it connects to that. And then the police are like, maggots couldn't have been during that time of the year. They couldn't have been there. And then like later on, they found out that the week it was unusually warm, so there could have been, and it was just like, okay, do your jobs.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's a little true crime tangent of a really good docuseries that I watched. You should watch it. Not you, but listeners should. I talked to Claire about it because she also likes true crime, and she said when it first came out, which was a couple of years ago, she watched it. So, yeah. Neville has something white on his nose.
I want to get him to
Neville.
come over here. Neville.
Neville.
Come here, baby. It looks like it's almost like a nose ring or something.
I know. Neville got his septum pierced.
Yep.
Okay. Do you love the Hoot Podcast?
Do you want to hear more of our lovely voices?
Do you want to be more involved in the creation of our show?
Well, wait no longer, because the Hoot Podcast is on Patreon.
Yes, if you go to patreon.com/The Hoot Podcast, you can become a little hoot for $3 a month or a hooter for $5 a month.
This program not only helps us to create more content, but it helps us to improve our show over time for you all.
You also get so many cool incentives for joining.
Yeah, you get a shout out on our show,
You get exclusive content like bonus episodes and videos of us.
and you get a handmade gift from one of us, probably me, Ashley.
So join our owlery now and to get all of that and more.
Thank you.
And back to the hoot. Okay, so Ashley, what is our episode this week?
The Mandalorian Season 1.
Season 1. We will be doing Season 2 next week.
Yes.
But first we will do Season 1. So if you have seen the first season but not the second, then listen to this and don't listen to the next one.
Yeah.
I don't really think there's... I mean, if you've, like, gone on the internet at all, there's obviously spoilers.
Yeah.
But I don't really think there's, like, too many spoilers from us.
Plus, I'm assuming that if you've watched, or if you've wanted to watch The Mandalorian, you've probably watched it already. And if you want to watch The Mandalorian, but you don't really care about it, then, yeah, I don't think you'll care.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen it yet, you probably don't care about spoilers, but I honestly don't think there are many during this. Mostly, you'll understand more if you have seen it.
Yeah.
Season 1, at
Yeah.
least. So, I have a synopsis for us, and it's very short, so
Okay.
sorry about that. I can add a little bit of my own, but this one is from IMDb.
Okay.
So, The Mandalorian is set after the fall of the Empire and before the emergence of the First Order. We follow the travels of a lone gunfighter in the outer reaches of the galaxy far from the authority of the New Republic. So the Mandalorian is a part of the Mandalore religion, which we learn a little bit of that in the first season. Basically, can you explain, like, their religion or religious beliefs at all?
Nope.
Yeah. I can't either.
I'm
mostly,
not that deep into
mostly
Star
they
Wars,
don't.
unfortunately. I
Yeah.
apologize to the fan people out there.
They don't show their faces, and their allegiance is to other Mandalorians, but honestly, is to no one else. So,
They kind of
Yeah.
make up their own rules.
yeah.
At
But
least
also,
it's
they
like
have
that.
very specific rules.
Yeah. Goes back and forth.
Yes. You learn a couple more of those rules in Season 2, but Season 1, you really just know that he's not supposed to show his face to another being. You learn that he can show his face to droids, since they are not living beings, but no one else. So, part of this that is not added in this synopsis is that at the beginning of the Mandalorian's travels, he is set out to find a child. He doesn't know it's a child. He basically is a bounty hunter, and this is his bounty, and he gets to it and realizes that it is a baby of a creature that we don't know, and, well, we know that it is Yoda's, I don't know, genealogy. He's a creature that is the same
like
as Yoda.
It's Baby Yoda.
So everybody
except that
calls
it's
it-
not Baby Yoda.
Everybody calls him Baby Yoda, but that is technically not his name.
Yes.
In the show, they call him the child because I think that's the easiest thing.
Mm-hmm. Without saying Baby Yoda.
Yeah. So, the Mandalorian finds the child and realizes that the people that he is supposed to give them to are evil. And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna take it in my own hands and take this child to where he belongs, and has to figure out that, and that's why he goes on this journey.
Yeah.
So, that is my synopsis.
Yay!
Would you like to give us a cast and director?
Yeah. So the director of The Mandalorian, we have many different directors,
But the main director.
The main director / creator is Jon Favreau. And he is the guy who is Happy in the Marvel Universe.
He also was the director of Elf.
Yes.
Which we talked about a couple weeks ago.
And he also just does a bunch of other stuff. He is, like, super cool. I mean, that's why I wouldn't say he's the director. He's the writer.
He's the creator.
Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
well, he's
6,
the main...
7, 8, 9 directors, and he's only directed 1 episode.
He's the main director, though. So let me explain this. He's the main director, but he has people come in to direct specific episodes.
Yeah, it's just like The Office.
Yes.
With the one guy.
Yes.
But, yeah.
So he is the main director.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to get
But I'm
at.
saying there's more directors
I know.
that are part of this.
I know.
Show business is weird.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway.
But it's not.
So, the Mandalorian is played by Pedro Pascal, and he is in other things. I know that my boyfriend likes him in Game of Thrones. He's also in The Kingsman and some other stuff. He's really cool. Then there's Cara Dune, who's like his companion for a couple of episodes. Her name is Gina Carano. Can't read today. Carano. She is like, at first she's like kind of like a bounty hunter like he is, but also like a sheriff.
She used to be a sheriff.
She used to be on Alderaan, that planet, and it got exploded. It got exploded. And she, during this season at least, kind of teams up with Mandalorian to help him with the child. Then we have Moff Gideon, who is our bad guy throughout most of season 1 and 2. And he is played by Giancarlo Esposito. We have
Esposito.
Yeah. One of the droids who's in 5 episodes is played by Chris Bartlett. The droid's name is RA-7 droid.
And that's the nursing droid from season 1, correct?
Yeah, I think so. He also has a slash, so I'm assuming he's in other... He plays other voices.
He probably voices
or something.
other droids.
Then we have Grief Karga, which is Carl Weathers. He's played by Carl Weathers. He is another one of the closer companions to help with the child. He was also a part of like the bounty hunter-esque world.
Yeah, he's like, he like finds bounties to give out to bounty hunters.
Yeah. Then we have Kuili, and there's a performance artist, and then there's also like the voice of him. So the performance artist is Misty Rosas, and then the voice of him is Nick Nolte. Then we have Dr. Pershing, is played by Omid Abatahi. Boba Fett is in season 2. Sorry, spoilers. I'm just reading down the list right now. There's a couple of other ones. There's the Client. He's also one of the bad guys in season 1. He's played by Werner Herzog. We have Zero, I'm mentioning. He's also a droid, and he's played by Richard Ayoade, and he is from the IT crowd. And that's all I'm going to mention, except for where's that one lady?
O'Mara?
Who?
Who are you talking about?
The one lady.
Thank you, that helps.
The lady who is on the planet
Oh man,
Banshee, is that her name? Where is she?
Julia Jones.
Julia Jones.
Scroll down a little bit. Or scroll up.
Julia
Under
Jones.
Jake Cannavale and above Rosario Dawson. Who we will get to in
Julia Jones. There she is. Got it. Yeah, she's in an episode.
Thanks, Ashley.
You're welcome. There's a lot of characters in
Yes.
here, and they play them like once. I feel like a lot of the side characters in here, it's like one and done. You don't really get to meet anybody else besides the Mandalorian and a couple of other people. One other person that I didn't mention is, he's pretty famous, and I can't think of him. I probably said it. The one guy. He was in the episode we just watched.
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr. Yeah, he's in this, and then he makes his another appearance in season 2. Mayfield. Yeah, so just a lot of people going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our mother's coming in, so we will pause to
Yes.
let her come in. So, what would be your favorite main/side character? So, for the main characters, I just went off of the child and the Mandalorian.
So I have to choose between them?
I mean, that's why I kind of
Because they're
said,
both on my list.
yeah.
They're literally the only two characters that matter in this entire series.
I mean, that's not true. Everyone matters.
Everyone
Ashley.
matters, but these are the only two that we care about and that we are always rooting for.
I care about
from the
other
very
people.
beginning. I mean, the only other one on my list is Cara Dune.
Yeah. So I guess let's just forget
And I'm going
main
to tell
characters.
you this, and I'm going to tell you this, is that I didn't know her name until I looked it up.
No, here's the thing. I didn't know any of these characters' names
No.
because you don't really think of. They don't really say their
They
names. that
introduce
often.
themselves once, and then that's it. You
Yeah.
don't hear anything else. And so it's very, you're just like, oh, it's that one guy. Oh,
Yeah.
it's that one girl.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know her.
Oh, it's Carl Weathers is
Oh,
back.
yeah, it's
okay.
Carol Weathers.
Yeah, so side characters. Let's just do that. From season
Why?
1. Because we just said that our favorite main characters are.
Well, I'm already done. I said Cara Dune, the child, and Mandalorian.
Oh, well, I have more.
Okay.
So, I have Cara Dune as well on my list. And then I like Grief Karga, who is Carl Weathers. I honestly liked him from the beginning, even though he was kind of bad. But, I mean, everybody was kind of like, okay, he's bad, but then he gets good. So, I mean, I liked him from the beginning, though, because I kind of was like, I feel like he's good. I feel like he has a good side, and he's just kind of in this business because he has to be to make ends meet. And then my other favorite side character is Kuil, who is the guy who says, I have spoken, and he changes the one droid into a nursing droid for the child.
Which is cute.
Yes. I just really like him, and I was really sad that, well, spoilers, he does not come back in season 2.
Nope.
Because of reasons.
Not even as a ghost Jedi.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would love if there's something with him in the future, but we can get to that later. So, are you ready for my fun facts? So these are really basic fun facts, not necessarily, a lot of them aren't necessarily about season 1 in particular. So next week we'll be doing something other than fun facts, spoiler for next week. But yes, so for now, I don't think there's anything that's specific to season 2, so we don't have to really worry about that.
Okay.
Okay, so during the first episode, when the bounty is looking through the carbonite bounties, so the bounty hunter is looking through the different carbonite of the bounty bounties that they have gotten. One of them is George Lucas.
Oh, cool.
Yes. So I really want to go back to that first episode and just look at that scene, just so I can find him.
Yeah.
Okay, according to Dave Filoni, there was one scene that required a large number of stormtroopers. I'm guessing that's one of the creators, by the way, Dave Filoni.
Probably.
So there was one scene that they needed a lot of stormtroopers, but they didn't have enough costumes for it. So they ended up drafting members of the 501st Legion fan club, who specialize in making their own storm slash clone trooper cosplays.
That's so fun.
Yes. And that was something that I was like, oh, that's really cool. And sometimes when I do fun facts, every time I go to different sites and like make sure this is a true fact. This one was on every single site that I found talking about it. So that one's definitely a true fun fact about this show. Okay, so this was something that I did not know and I was kind of upset about. And I will explain why. So, a December 2019 Vulture article drew attention to the question of how often the masked actor on screen in full body costume as the Mandalorian is Pedro Pascal, instead of one of the credited Mandalorian doubles, Brendan Wayne and Lateef Crowder, with Pascal's voice performance dubbed in. Since the actors collaborate to keep movement consistent, the audience is unlikely to be able to tell without behind-the-scenes info. Notably, Pascal does not appear on screen as the Mandalorian at all in season 1. Not season 1. At all in the episode Chapter 4, Sanctuary. So, that is the one with the planet where we meet Cara Dune.
Wait, so you're saying he's not the Mandalorian until that episode?
No, he
isn't in that episode.
He isn't in that episode.
Okay.
He is just voicing in that episode. So he didn't act in any of that. The reason that makes me upset is because I didn't even know that there were more.
Yeah,
that there were
didn't either.
doubles. I mean, it makes sense, but even though it says that they are credited, going through IMDb, I cannot find them anywhere. So
they're probably way at the bottom of the list.
And so that kind of makes me upset for them because obviously they do a lot of work with that. With Pascal not even being in a full episode besides voicing it. So, but also I wanted to say they do a fantastic job. And that episode in particular was one where I noticed how much emotion he could put through just through body language because you can't see his face, So that was the first episode that I was like, wow, this is a really acting filled show. I don't know. I just thought that was really cool. Okay, so Gina Carano plays Cara Dune. She initially believed that she would be playing the role of a female Wookiee and was actually surprised that her face would be seen within the series, which, honestly, I really hope that they put a female Wookiee in this series. Cool. That would be really cool to have, but it was strange because later on, I don't believe I put this in. No, I did not put it in the fun facts, but later on I found out that when Jon Favreau was creating the series, he had this character specifically picked out for Gina Carano. So I was like, I wonder why she thought that was who she was going to be playing.
Maybe it was just a mix-up with the casting.
Yeah, it could have been.
Her agent or something.
Maybe. Okay, so The Mandalorian utilizes a new kind of technology that allows filmmakers to use virtual sets and real-time rendering to basically give actors the feeling that they are shooting on location. Creator and executive producer Jon Favreau used similar technology while filming The Lion King. So the settings that you're seeing them in are what the actors feel that they're being shooting on, even though they aren't filming on in that location, in that real location.
Okay.
So it's like a green screen, but for the whole set.
Okay.
I don't know how the technology works. I'm not very smart, so. Okay. So, we're going to the child or Baby Yoda.
Yay!
It is, and this was a question that I had because I was always like, I wonder, like, what the guy's actually holding, like, what the Mandalorian is actually holding when they are filming. So, the Baby Yoda is actually mostly a puppet.
Yay.
And CGI is barely used. So, he is actually holding the puppet.
Yay.
When CGI is needed, they still try to make him obey the same physical laws that he would if he were a puppet. So, basically what it's saying is they're trying not to make him look more realistic. They're trying to make him look like he is a puppet. So that it doesn't, matches. It matches. It takes 2 technicians to operate Baby Yoda during a scene. One person controls the eyes and the mouth, while the other person controls the other facial expressions, like his ears moving. And this puppet costs, can you guess how much the main puppet that they use? They have multiple puppets, but this main puppet that has controls of the eyes and ears. How much do you guess?
Give me a digit value.
What do you mean? Like,
so like
1,000, 100?
Yeah.
Million.
I was going to say 3 million.
It was 5 million.
Oh my gosh.
That puppet cost $5 million.
So how much do the other ones cost?
I don't know.
Okay.
Probably not as much.
But still.
Since that's the one they quoted.
My goodness. Okay, but like, is that how much it costs, like, to make it? Or is that how much it is now worth?
That's the value of it.
Okay, so like,
I'm guessing to make it, it cost $5 million.
Okay, got it.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Our mother is offering us Twizzlers right now. Ashley took one.
It's extra long.
Okay, so Deborah Chow, who directed episodes 3 and 7, actually became the first woman to direct a live-action Star Wars story.
Yay!
Later, Bryce Dallas Howard directed Chapter 4, Sanctuary, and Victoria Mahoney was the second unit director on Rise of Skywalker. So, that was interesting to me. Okay. Oh, you're gonna love this. The 2 bike scouts who kidnapped and punched Baby Yoda in Chapter 8, Redemption, they were played by, and I double-checked this.
Yeah.
They were played by Jason Sudeikis and Adam Pally, which I don't know if you know who Adam Pally is, but he's also like a comedian. So
I could see.
Yeah, you could look him up and you know his face.
That's so fun though.
Yes. And I was like, are you serious? So I double checked it. And they kind of are like a funny comedic duo, I guess, when they do come in. So
Adam Pally?
Yeah. Pally. I can't remember what the thing I knew him from was.
He's in the Mindy Project?
Yeah, there was like
I've never seen that.
Oh, Iron Man. That's what I knew him from. Iron Man 3. Okay. So, we talked about this woman last week on Mulan. Was that last week? Ming-Na Wen. So, she was Mulan, a Disney princess. She was also a Marvel superhero, which I don't know. Can you look her up? Because I don't know what Marvel superhero she was. And she is a Star Wars character, thus completing a Disney hat trick. So she plays someone in the second season, and she is basically, this is a spoiler, Boba Fett's sidekick girl, I guess.
Wait, who is it again?
Ming-Na Wen. Okay, so Ming-Na Wen is Mulan, and then Marvel. It says a Marvel superhero. You're shaking your head no, but
she's not a Marvel superhero. She's an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and she's an agent called Melinda May.
Are you saying that agents aren't superheroes?
Well, she's not one of the main ones.
But she's like in every single episode.
Okay.
I think she would be a categorized as a superhero.
Okay.
If she's in the main, if she's a main character in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.,
Okay.
I would consider her one.
Okay.
You're being rude
No, I'm not.
to her
No, I'm not.
relevance.
She's in so many things. And I love her in Mulan.
Anyway, she's in Mandalorian, and she has completed a Disney hat trick, which is apparently a thing.
Cool.
Okay, so my last fun fact is it's just fun.
Is it?
It's just fun. So, the first time Pedro Pascal tried on the helmet for the Mandalorian was just like the second time he came in. I'm guessing to accept the role or to once again just like audition, but they pretty much had him picked out from the beginning. So he put the helmet on and it actually fit perfectly.
Oh,
Yes.
cute.
Yes. So I thought that was pretty cool. And that's all my fun facts. Okay.
Fun fact.
Yeesh. So now we're going to favorite episodes of season 1. How many do you have?
1.
Okay, I have 2. So
I wrote down.
what's your first one?
Aren't you proud of me?
I'm proud of you.
Well, my first and only one is episode 4.
Okay, because I have that one too, and I assumed that would be yours.
So, one thing that
Well, can you explain what episode 4 is?
Episode
first?
4 is called Sanctuary, and it's the one where he goes to this planet. I don't remember what the planet is, but there's a bunch of farmers, and they are being attacked by this group of raiders that comes in and like steals all of their harvest, and they're pretty much going to starve. And the Mandalorian, he meets this one girl who's also a victim from the planet Alderaan, and she like lost all of her people, and she also helps them, and it's just...
And that's Cara.
Yeah, that's Cara Dune. And so like they're hanging out on this cool planet and they're helping other people, and I just really like it because I thought it was a good story. I enjoyed like Baby Yoda getting to play with all the little kids.
Yes.
And it's also cool because like when they first meet Cara and Mando, when they first meet, like they are fighting because like they can't trust each other yet.
Yeah.
And it's just,
And
I think
now
it's
they're
got
best
a lot.
friends.
Yeah, now they're best friends. I think it's just a really good episode. It's got a lot of things going on. It makes you cry. It makes you laugh. It makes you feel happy and all the things. One thing I'm just going to say about The Mandalorian Season 1 altogether is that it's, I don't know, I really can't just like separate it episode by episode. I feel like it's more of like a feeling. And one reason why I didn't like pick so many actors is because I feel like The Mandalorian is more about the story rather than the people that are in it, besides The Mandalorian and the child, because like that's like the main goal is finding the child's home. So like I just feel like whoever we meet, it's like not that, like I've said, like nobody really cares. It's like no, it's not big a deal, you know, if you meet someone.
Yeah.
Even though we do care about them, and they get us to feel for some of the characters, like the one guy Kuili or Kuuil.
Yes. Kuiil.
Yeah. That guy.
Cool.
Sure.
I think he called him Quill.
Yeah, that's it.
Pretty sure. So
Yep,
I mean,
remember that now.
it looks like Kuil,
Yeah.
but it's Quill, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, so I just feel like season 1 was definitely...
Yeah, we meet a lot more characters in season 2 that
Yes.
I feel like will continue,
Yes.
if that makes
Season
sense.
1 I just feel like was like a big whole plot of exposition. And like I mean, yeah, there were stories going on, but I feel like season 2, it just got a lot
I mean,
better.
honestly, like, I see it as the chapters.
Uh-huh.
Like, each episode is a chapter, and it definitely does feel like that. So, yeah.
Yep.
Other than that one, I have chapter 6, The Prisoner, and that's the one that I was watching when you walked in. That's when the Mandalorian is part of a crew of mercenaries, and they are springing a convict from a prison ship. So it's like a bunch of his old people that he used to work with to do crimes, I don't know, to find bounty and stuff like that. And they are getting a convict out of prison.
Yeah.
I really like this one because you see more of the Mandalorian's past, and his past people that he worked with. And you see part of him where he is I feel like he's a very honest person, but he uses that honesty in a way, like you see this multiple times in the show where he will be like, I will not kill you with my bare hands, or something like that. Or, I will not kill you. But then he lets people die.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's like he's very honest, but he uses that to his advantage and their disadvantage, if that makes sense. I also like this one because one of the people does return in season 2 and kind of has more of a redemption, which I really like. I'm not going to say who.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, I also the reason I was actually watching that episode is because I couldn't remember if everyone, like, if all of the crew members pass, like, they die at the end. I just couldn't remember. And then the one guy comes back, so I'm like, maybe they didn't die. Like, none of them did. But I know some of them did.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was just, like, trying to figure out who died and who could come back in the future episodes. So, yes. Those are my 2 favorite episodes from this season. So what are your predictions from season 1? So basically, our predictions are going to be, I mean, we can't really make predictions from season 1 for season 2 because we've already seen it. But I said, well, if anyone will return, even if we haven't seen them in season 2, that's what my predictions are kind of off of. So, like, people we've met in season 1 but haven't seen in season 2, those are the people that I'm kind of, like, thinking about. They might come back.
I can't think of anybody in season 1.
So, the one person that I thought of was Omera, who is the mother that the Mandalorian kind of sparks a little connection with.
I don't think she's coming back.
You don't think she's going to come back? I just felt like they might do something with her eventually. Because, and something that I noticed with this show, which I was watching the last episode with somebody, and I said, of season 2, and I was like, oh, now the Mandalorian has to go find all his old buddies that he made during the season, and they all got to get together and fight. And that's pretty much what happens at the end of season 1. He goes and gets all these people that he met throughout the season. And
You mean season 2?
No, season 1. On the second to last episode, actually, he finds Cara Dune, and finds Quill, and finds Grief, whatever, Carl Weathers. And they get together, and also the droid.
Yes.
Which he was with him the whole time. But so he gathers all the people that he's met.
That's probably one of my other favorite characters, I guess, is the droid.
Yeah, I do like that droid.
When he sacrifices himself, I'm like,
good job. Yeah. So do you have any predictions from season 1?
No. I really think that what they are doing is, like, sort of leaving things behind.
Yeah.
So, like, a lot of the episodes don't really... I mean, they correlate to each other. Like, it's a story. He's moving from one place to another. But I feel like they're not going to be bringing anything from Season 1 to put into Season 3. Because I think Season 3 is all going to be about Boba Fett.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's called The Book of Boba Fett.
No, that's a different show.
What?
They're making a different show.
Then why did they call it that at the end of the series?
They were talking about that show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then I was confused.
Yeah,
Because
no.
I thought that the Mandalorian story is over and now Boba Fett's story is starting. I thought that's what they were saying.
I don't know. Because I'm just going to go to IMDb.
Okay. That's just how I interpreted it. Because I was like, okay, so Mandalo got...
No, it's totally different.
Okay, the way I read it is that, like...
It's a spin-off, is what it says. Is what it's saying.
I'm just saying that the way I read it is that Mando completed his mission.
No.
And then now it's Boba Fett's story time.
So...
Which I would have kind of enjoyed if they would have just done that.
But...
Because he's still a Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I'm saying Boba Fett is another Mandalorian. And so it would have been his story. And then we would have gone back to the other Mandalorians that we met in the next series or whatever.
No.
So I think that would have been cool.
So... Wait.
But I'm just saying, I just misinterpreted it. It's fine that it's this way. I still don't think anybody from Season 1 is going to be coming up.
You don't?
No. I think more from Season 2.
I think that if anyone came back, it would be O'Mara or more of the crew from The Prisoner
As
that
bad
I just
guys.
talked about. The bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
Because we already had one person come back, so I feel like there could be more coming back. And then also, like, there was not a lot, but there were, when the one guy did come back, I was like, I do not remember this guy. So I'm wondering if, like, there's other people that will come back that we just don't even remember him meeting.
Be like, oh,
hey, you
that
were
guy.
someone, I know your face. So anyway, that's kind of what I think, but you had a totally different.
Well, that's just
idea
because
of what was going on.
I thought that's just how I read the end of the story.
No, so
Did not
I
understand.
see it the
Didn't
same
look
way.
up anything.
Yeah.
So
I see that ending the same way as like Marvel movies, the end, and then say like, oh, this is happening in this world. Like, it's a totally different place than where the movie took place. You know. So yeah. I think that's it for this week's episode.
yeah.
So please, guys, if you were listening, go to Apple Podcasts and leave a review for us. That really helps us to get higher on the boards and stuff. I don't even know how
People
it works.
can find us.
People can
better.
find us easier if you leave us reviews. And then also go follow us on Instagram. We're the Hoot Podcast on Instagram.
Yeah.
If you guys want to ask us a question, we have a Gmail account, thehootpodcast@gmail.com.
You can also message us through the Instagram.
Yes, you can
We'll
also
answer
DM us on Instagram. And then also please head to patreon.com/thehootpodcast to join our owlry.
Yeah.
For $3, you can become a little hoot, and for $5, you can become a hooter.
Hoot.
Hoot, hoot. And then lastly, please share our show with a friend. We know you guys have friends.
You got friends.
I'm sure you do, and if you don't, we'll be your friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for listening
To
to
the
the Who!